What's up guys, Gray here, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to start shifting gears a little bit and start talking about some of the crafted weapons that you can go after this season. There's a lot to choose from, some of them are better than the others. You definitely want to make sure that you're investing your resources into the right weapons. The weapon we're talking about today is the Rapid Fire Peace of Mind Pulse Rifle. That's one of the new seasonal weapons that just came out with the Witch Queen. Now, of course, this pulse rifle is craftable. You do have to level up and finish 5 weapons before you can unlock the pattern for this pulse, which is a little bit of a grind. But if you invest in the helm a little bit, you can guarantee that the first umbral that you focus every week will be a guaranteed red bar weapon. So you can at least guarantee yourself one of those patterns per week. And hopefully, if you get lucky, you'll land a couple other ones from running psyops and focusing other umbral engrams. I can confirm, even if you have already spent your first weekly one on the red bar, if you continue to focus umbral engrams into these weapons, there is a chance that it will drop as a red bar weapon. So you can pursue it that way. You can sort of grind it out. Now, this weapon is incredible in a lot of different aspects of the game. Originally, I had planned this video to be sort of a PvP focused build because this fits really well with one of my favorite loadouts for the Crucible. And we're going to talk about that a little later in the video. But let's take a look at the perks that are available on this thing first, because there's a lot of different ways that you can build this weapon depending on your playstyle and what you want to use it for. When I first looked at this weapon, I knew I really wanted to build out a good one for the Crucible because I love using pulses in PvP. They're incredibly strong primary weapons right now, and they just pair perfectly with my favorite build that I like to run on my Hunter. So the way I built this out, I went with arrowhead break for the barrel because it gives you massive increase to the recoil direction. It takes it from 58, which kicks to the right pretty hard, up to an 88 recoil direction, which makes it a lot more vertical. And it also gives you a little extra handling as well. We're gonna go with high caliber rounds in the magazine column for that extra flinch in PvP to help us win those 1v1 engagements. And in the third column, there's actually 2 really solid options to go with here as far as PvP is concerned. You have things like perpetual motion, which is almost a constant buff. As long as you're moving, like you can see here, you're getting 5 stability, 10 handling, and 10 reload at all times. And after 10 seconds, that'll double basically. You'll get 10 stability, 20 handling, and 20 reload. So that's always benefiting you all the time, especially in the Crucible. You're always on the move, getting these bonus stats. Very, very helpful. You could also go with something like heating up, which is amazing as well. Going to give you massive aim assist, huge bonus to stability and recoil direction, and it stacks up to 2 times. The only downside to this perk is obviously you have to get that first kill to get heating up rolling, but it's incredible. I mean, if you have no problem getting that first kill, which most people won't with a weapon like this, heating up is a fantastic option as well. And that's just for the Crucible. If you're going for PvE, Stats for All is an amazing perk as well. It's just like One for All, but for everything else besides damage. That's going to boost all the stats on your gun, make it feel incredible. In PvE, it's fantastic because you'll be hitting separate targets all the time. You can also go with Overflow, which is never a bad option. Looking at the fourth column, we have a lot of choices to go with here, and it really will come down to some personal preference. Now, at first, I tried out Harmony on this weapon. I really do like Harmony as a perk, but depending on your playstyle, it may or may not work for you. If you use your special weapon a lot, you're getting kills with it, and you swap back to your primary with Harmony procced, it's incredible. It's a nice 20% damage bonus. It's going to make it so you shred people with this thing because it's firing so fast you can seriously delete people. But it does have that requirement of getting a kill with your other weapon to proc the damage buff on your primary, which may work for you, it may not. What I ended up landing on myself, honestly, was Adrenaline Junkie. Now, you may not get that many grenade kills in PvP, but this perk also procs off weapon kills. Every kill you get will give you 1 stack of Adrenaline Junkie up to 5 times, which is a 33% damage increase. It also gives you increased handling as well, making the weapon feel snappier. And at 5 stacks, you can seriously delete people. The reason I like this perk is because it allows you to sort of push your range out a little bit further. You can challenge engagements at a further distance depending on how many stacks of Adrenaline Junkie you have. You can maintain your optimal time to kill further out. with the more stacks of Adrenaline Junkie. That's really why I like the perk. It does have the added synergy with your grenade. It is nice to have, but I really just prefer that stacking damage bonus. You're kind of going for flanks a lot with a pulse rifle, lining up lanes, hitting people, and just having that stacking damage is going to make it so you can roll through the enemy team a lot easier. Then, of course, in PvE, you can always go with something like Focus Fury, which is really, honestly, a nice perk, especially when you're hitting bigger enemies. As long as you're hitting precision shots, you're going to start getting that damage bonus halfway through your magazine. From what I understand, it is a 20% damage bonus for a short time, which is really nice. Can help you take down some of those chunkier enemies. And we also have Vorpal Weapon, which you could go after as well. A solid 10% increase to damage, which does stack with weapon mods like Major Spec and Boss Spec, so you can definitely take advantage of that as well. So all in all, it's an incredible weapon. I'm sure you can tell by some of the gameplay in the background. I really like to play with this pulse on my hunter. I'm a massive fan of Athrys Embrace. I've made videos on this exotic before. It does take some getting used to. There's a learning curve to this exotic, but if you can learn to use this, it's incredible. This exotic makes it so after landing multiple precision hits, you're going to get a stacking buff that buffs your throwing knife. It allows you to bounce it off of walls, and each time it bounces, it basically turns into a heat-seeking missile. The way I like to use this is that I bounce it off the ground into a wall. Then when it bounces off that wall, it's literally going to look for the nearest target and fly towards them like a heat-seeking missile. It completely defies the laws of physics. It doesn't matter what angle you throw it at. If someone is nearby, it will track to them instantly. It gives me so many free kills in PvP. I use it constantly. And up until now, I had always paired it with the Messenger Pulse Rifle, which is my favorite primary weapon in the game. But the peace of mind is seriously giving it a run for its money. I love using it. You're actually able to land precision hits faster and stack the buff easier with a rapid fire pulse rifle because you're shooting so much faster. If you're hitting your shots, you basically always have this buff up. It stacks up to 30 seconds, so you can literally almost have permanent uptime on your bouncing, heat-seeking throwing knife. It's seriously my favorite exotic. It's not a meme. If you take the time to learn it, it's seriously lethal. I use this in Trials of Osiris. I use this in Sixes. I use it in Rumble. I take it everywhere with me in the Crucible because it's so phenomenal. And it pairs perfectly with the subclass that you're already running. You have to use Bottom Tree Gunslinger to take advantage of Athrys Embrace, and all the perks synergize with landing precision hits. All your precision hits will reduce the cooldown of your golden gun, which makes it so you don't have to run intellect. You can see I'm actually only running 30 intellect here, and I'm still getting 2 or 3 supers a game, especially when you're slaying out. You get your super back really, really fast. On top of that, every time you get a precision kill, you get increased weapon stability and handling, making your primary feel even better. Everything about precision with this subclass just plays in to the playstyle it takes to get the most out of Athrys Embrace. It's seriously the most slept on hunter exotic in the game. I know everyone loves to use Stompies, but I swear, you just gave it a shot, you would love it. Especially with Void 3.0 running the show right now, your bouncing throwing knives don't give a crap about Invis hunters. Overshield Titans, it'll one-shot them too because it makes the knife deal more damage. You can kill Guardians in their supers. It will track Invis hunters. Overshield Titans, it doesn't matter. You just bounce this thing around a corner and forget about it and get your free kill. It's absolutely amazing. But that's it for the video, guys. I don't want to go too in depth with the build. If you're interested in more information about how to really get the most out of Athrys Embrace, I did do a video on it a couple seasons ago. Feel free to go check that out. Maybe I'll do an updated guide on it because it really is my favorite exotic to run. And I've made some tweaks to my build recently. And if you want, I would be more than happy to share my dim loadout leak with you so you guys can set it up for yourselves. Thank you guys for stopping by and checking out the video. Definitely get your hands on this pulse rifle, whether it's for PvE or PvP. It's an excellent one to chase and worth your time and resources. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one.